Hey everyone! Today I want to talk to you about my favorite grocery store, Aldi. So I moved to Florida about 5 years ago at this point, and when I got here everyone was like, oh, you have to check out Publix. So I go to Publix expecting, like, with the way people described it, expecting like a Wegmans experience. If you're from up north, you know about Wegmans. It was not on the level of Wegmans. Publix is not a bad grocery store, but I found it to be really overpriced for like everything, everyday items, and it makes it really difficult to stick to a budget when you're trying to grocery shop in a place where it feels like everything is overpriced. So a few months ago, I started shopping at Aldi, and it has been a game changer, like completely amazing, and has really helped with our grocery budget, and it's been awesome. So today in our video, I want to give you an overview of everything we got at the grocery store last week with a complete breakdown and price comparison of what we spent at Aldi and what it would have been if we had gotten it at Publix. I want to tell you a little bit about Aldi since it's a unique type of grocery store, and I'm going to show you a few of my favorite things that I got there. All right, so I want to tell you a little bit about Aldi. It's definitely a unique type of grocery store, and one thing that's really special about it, I think, one thing that's great about it is that it's small. Sometimes when you need to get in and out of the grocery store, you're in aisle 1 and you realize you forgot something in 17, then you get over there and you have to go back to 2, and it takes forever. And really at Aldi there are only a few aisles, but it's a complete grocery store in my opinion. They have a ton. So first things first, make sure you bring a quarter with you. You'll need a quarter to rent your cart. So when you get there, you put your quarter in the little slot handle, and then it'll like pop the card out, and when you return it, it will give you your quarter back. So you can either get your quarter back, or you can be nice to a stranger and give your card away in the parking lot. Nice little thing to do. The next thing is that when you go to checkout, you're gonna put all of your items on the conveyor belt, and when the person rings you up, they're gonna put all of your items into an empty cart, and then your cart becomes the cart for the person behind you. So the reason why they do this is because they're not gonna bag your stuff. So you're gonna take your cart that's been paid for and it's all back in there, and you're gonna wheel it over, and there's a ledge, and you're gonna bag things yourself. Honestly, I prefer this because it makes things go so fast when you're checking out. So I think that's great. The other thing is that they do not offer you paper bags or plastic bags for free. You either have to bring reusable bags or you have to pay for them. For me right now, I'm not using anything reusable. I'm just trying to be really careful with just like sanitation and stuff. So I purchased 6 or 7 paper bags at Aldi, and that takes care of all my groceries for the most part. Each bag, at least at my Aldi, there's 7 cents each. So I spend about 50 cents on bags, and then I'll recycle them when I get home, and it's worth it to me. So those are a few little tidbits just in case you've never been to Aldi. I remember my first time and I'm like, wait, don't you need my cart if you're gonna bag? And it was really confusing. So just, there are some things to keep in mind if this is your first visit there. This week at Aldi, I spent $86.02. I usually try to go grocery shopping about once a week, spend about $100. I'll be honest with you, usually I go in with a list, a meal plan, and that was not the case this week. It's been like a little chaotic here, if we're being truthful, so I wasn't completely disappointed with what I got. I thought it was still good. I got enough things I needed to make meals for the week, so totally fine. But just all that to say that I could have maybe tightened up my budget a little bit. Anyway. Moving along, I want to tell you about some of my favorite items that I got there and how much they cost compared to what they would have cost if I got them at Publix. One last thing before we jump in. If you're interested in looking, I made a spreadsheet where I compare what each price was for my items at Aldi and how much they would have cost if I got them at Publix. And at the end of the video, I'll tell you the price breakdown and how much I spent and what I would have spent and all of those details. But just wanted to let you know that if you're interested in looking at, you can click below and check out the spreadsheet. All right, so let's take a look at some of my favorite items, things that I love to get at Aldi. I can't remember if I mentioned this already, but I have my handy dandy notebook here just so I can make sure that I give you the correct prices. So first up, I love getting canned items like diced tomatoes, black beans, and soup, because I usually use these things in recipes, and why do I need anything besides generic, right? I think that's really important. So if you look at the diced tomatoes, these were 45 cents at Aldi, which is great. They would have been $1.09 at Publix. The black beans also would have been $1.09 at Publix, but I paid 48 cents for them. And then lastly, the soup was 49 cents at Aldi, but would have been 99 cents at Publix. So for these canned items, I've saved over 50% so far. One thing too about the price comparison, I was as honest as I could be with Publix and completely gave them the benefit of the doubt. So for example, if I got something like black beans at Aldi, I looked for the generic, cheapest black beans I could get at Publix. I didn't try to make it look fancy like I was saving so much money, compare and contrast, and pick like organic, expensive black beans. So anyway, I just want to keep that in mind, that with Publix, I tried to give them the benefit of the doubt, and I wanted to make it as budget friendly as I possibly could when you look at the spreadsheet. Next up, honey wheat bread. This is 95 cents for a loaf at Aldi, and it's $3.99 at Publix. It's the same thing. They're different brands, but literally this is another item you cannot tell the difference. So definitely recommend less than $1, get a loaf or two, put one in the freezer for backup, great price. Next up, breakfast items, especially things like oatmeal and cereal. So these frosted shredded bite-sized wheats, they're basically generic frosted mini wheats. Now, frosted mini wheats at Publix are $2.99, and this box of cereal is $1.39. I can't tell the difference. I honestly can't tell the difference, and it's a great price. So I definitely recommend checking out their generic cereal. Also, their orange juice is $2.09 and Publix is $3.99. And it doesn't exit Aldi, it costs 89 cents, whereas at Publix, they're $1.89. So I definitely recommend checking out some of those breakfast staples because they have some great prices at Aldi. The spices, cinnamon, salt, pepper, all of those things at Aldi, it is amazing. First of all, they have a really good selection. I mean, it's not like they have like 3 things. They have so many different options. They have great prices. The cinnamon, I'm almost out of actually, so I got some 95 cents. The cheapest cinnamon that I could find, like the absolute cheapest I could find at Publix was $2.79. I'm not a person that's like really picky about my spices, so if you're moving in somewhere and you're like, oh, I need to get all of the things, you know, cinnamon, salt, pepper, cumin, whatever, I would definitely recommend stocking up there because you really can't find spices for less than $1 pretty much anywhere else. Next up, I want to talk about fruits and vegetables. Now, I'm going to start by saying that their produce section is pretty good. Sometimes you kind of have to search around to see what's best, but they definitely have variety there. I also like to get frozen fruits and vegetables too. So we've been making a lot of smoothies here lately, and I got 2 bags of the frozen mixed fruit. Now, they don't have a ton of variety. They have like strawberries, frozen blueberries, and then the mixed bag. They have a frozen berry blend as well, and this has strawberries, pineapples, peaches, and mangoes. So this is perfect. Now, this was $2.09 at Aldi, and at Publix, this would have been $4.19. So that's significantly more, double. So we got 2 of these, and then I needed to get some broccoli for a casserole on one of our dinner nights. And so the broccoli was 89 cents at Aldi, and at Publix it was $2.69. So again, definitely saving a lot of money, not just on their fresh produce, but the frozen fruit and the frozen veggies as well. And let's talk about some snacks. Hummus, just like regular old classic hummus, $1.79 at Aldi, and Publix $3.69. So that's crazy. I think we didn't get carrots this week. I think we got them last week, and I believe, don't quote me, they're not on the spreadsheet because I didn't get them this go round, but I think they're 89 cents. So that's like a pretty good snack, pretty healthy. Not healthy, on the other hand, though, are these knockoff Girl Scout cookies. Oh my gosh, everyone talks about these. The only bad news about these is, like, I guess it's good news and bad news. They're 98 cents. So that's good and bad. You can get a lot of these. They come in like 3 sleeves, like 1, 2, 3. You can eat like an entire sleeve in one sitting. They are so good. I recommend unbagging them when you get home and putting them in your refrigerator. So good. You have got to try these. Recently, I was talking about how much I loved Aldi, and you know what happens when you profess your love for something, you get added to a Facebook group. But there is this Facebook group with over 1 million people, and they're Aldi fans. And it's really fun. If you want, you should join. They talk about fun finds and good deals and, you know, whatever. Sometimes people even talk about like nice things other customers or employees there have done for one another. It's a fun group. But anyway, people kept referring to this thing called the AOS, and I could not figure out what this was until recently. I found out that it stands for Aisle of Shame. So there's this aisle in Aldi, it's like in the middle, and it is full of just like such random stuff. Usually it is insanely cheap. So I'm talking like, it's usually kind of seasonal too. So this week I was there, they have like kitchen appliances, sheets, towels, bean bags, puzzles, back to school supplies. And I've been really good about not wandering that aisle because like I don't need anything. I don't need anything. I always tell myself like you don't need this stuff. But I did make my first Aisle of Shame purchase this week. I got a 4x6 area rug for $19.99. That is crazy. Usually rugs are ridiculously expensive, and granted, I mean, it's probably not the most high quality, but I don't need high quality. It's just gonna be like for the entryway of my house where people like have shoes and all that. So anyway, if you are a big Aldi fan already, or maybe you want to learn a little bit more about what they have, I definitely recommend the Facebook group. And when you go, you're going to have to check out the aisle of shame. Let me know if you get anything. So there you have it. I showed you some of my favorite items. I told you what I got for my groceries this week. So now it's time for the big reveal. Hopefully you can hear my drum roll. Okay, so as I mentioned to you before, pre-tax at Aldi, I spent $86.02. At Publix, I would have spent $156.72, so I saved 45%, it's almost half, which is crazy, which worked out to be a total of $70.70. Now, granted, prices are always changing, but I did my best to be accurate and honest and really try to give, like I said earlier, Publix the benefit of the doubt, finding their sale prices, their generic prices too, but really you just can't beat Aldi prices. Now, I do not get 100% of my groceries there. I probably get 90%. My husband likes to eat Cliff Bars. I tried their Caesar dressing once and I didn't like it, so I'll still buy like name brand Caesar dressing for my house. But for the most part, I mean, like I said, we probably do get 90% of our groceries there. So anyway, I think that's a pretty substantial savings and it's a great way to save money. So I'm an Aldi fan for life. You'll have to let me know if you are also a big Aldi fan or if you're getting ready for your first trip there. I heard they're building a new one not too far from some of my friends. I'm in the Central Florida location, so I know that they're building one like a little bit north of where I live now. So hopefully everyone will get the chance to experience Aldi. But anyway, thanks for joining me today. I always love talking about budgets and ways to save money. So if you enjoyed this, like, comment, subscribe, let me know how things are going, and I hope to see you next time.